Well, hey, good evening there, Quackers. And I was watching uh, the TED Talk by Allan Savory about how to fight desertification and reverse climate change. Awesome presentation. And as Anton said, in his career, the guy made some mistakes as a scientist, as a climatologist, and which resulted in, among other things, 40,000 elephants being killed as a solution to desertification, which actually just resulted in the opposite, more desert. And I just want to make some comments. A couple of things came to mind as I was watching that. One is, of course, it reawoke in me the land sculptor spirit, because when you get in, land sculpting is all about getting in touch with the land. And when you get in touch with the land, in touch with the environment, when you're digging in the dirt and paying attention to the plants and watching the whatever animals and birds there are around and interacting with it, breathing it, living with it, as opposed to jumping in there and trying to shove things around and make some rapid changes. When you live with the land and live out in nature and dig in it, think about it and smell it and taste it, for me at least, various solutions, better, well, let's say insight comes. And so that sort of inspired me to at least promote land sculpting, maybe get back into some of it myself, although I don't own any land to sculpt, but maybe I could go out and help eliminate the deserts. The other thing that occurred is, wow, it's just that looking at this from some personal history, I can remember seeing the dust storms coming when I was growing up. I was a little kid, growing up in Dallas. And you may have heard me tell about that, but I suppose it bears telling again. It was sort of the aftermath of the Dust Bowl days, and we would look up toward the north, and we'd see clouds rising in the north, coming south, heading toward us, getting bigger. And for a number of years when I was growing up in Dallas, it was a drought, and so we were always hoping it would be a storm coming in to bring some rain and cool things off. But it would frequently, more often than not, be a dust storm. And I remember we would get in the house, close the windows and close the doors, and the air would just turn yellow. I mean, from a distance it would be kind of dark and gray and then black, but then as it got closer to us and surrounded us during the daytime, everything would be yellow. And after the dust storm blew through, there was grit everywhere. Grit in your teeth, grit in your hair, grit in your towel, grit in your toothpaste. I mean, just, if you open the refrigerator, grit got into the refrigerator. Grit on all the plates and dishes in the kitchen cabinets. So that was a result of the desertification that we did to ourselves, because there was a theory, I forget the name of it, but there were some scientists, just like Allan Savory at one point, came up with the idea it was good to kill the elephants, and that would solve the desertification problem in a particular area in Africa. There were people who believed that a particular approach to farming would yield much better results, and it did for a while. And the idea was just to be able to plow as much land and plant and harvest as much land as you could. And so what they did is they got rid of the traditional fence rows where there were trees and bushes growing which would break the wind. And they was plow in straight lines, no contour plowing. They would plow in straight lines for as long as they could. So these big farms. They called it, it was like dryland farming. And the idea was that if it rained, you got out and you immediately mulch, you did dust mulching, is what they call it. You harrowed your fields, which turned the upper few inches of earth over, and it created a very fine layer of dust on top of your field. And the thing about that is dust holds in that fine dust it would hold in, it would help capture the humidity from the rain and not let it evaporate. And it's called dust mulching. And so here were these big fields, dust mulched, just very, very fine. And then came a real drought. And then after the drought came the winds, huge winds. It was, well, Allan Savory mentions that we are heading into the perfect storm. It was a perfect storm for its day. A number of years of drought combined with this dust mulching, the elimination of the windrows, elimination of the trees and bushes and shrubs, so that they could just plow straight lines as far as they could and harvest and plant and plow and plant and harvest as much as they could, as fast as they could. And when the drought came, then nothing grew, and the dust got deeper and dustier, and then the winds came. And that was the Dust Bowl days, and a lot of people had to abandon Oklahoma, especially. That's where those big dust storms were coming from, because Oklahoma, of course, is just north of the border there from Texas. So anyhow, those are my thoughts about that Allan Savory's talk inspired in me, and it's marvelous that that there are guys out there that have some insight that shows the right direction for us to invest our time, and for us meat eaters, anybody that likes a good steak, that's good news. You know, if you want to be eating buffalo or beef or something like that, herding animals is a good thing to do. So anyhow, that's my comment for now. Thank you, Anton.